Hello, I'm Bettina Gilbert. I'm a program manager at WRAP, and I'm pleased to have this opportunity to speak to you. Today, I'll be sharing with you how WRAP works to build circular businesses. So WRAP is a not-for-profit. We work with partners in over 20 countries, and we work collaboratively with businesses, governments, and citizens to reduce waste and increase resource efficiency. I've been working in business support in Wales for 18 years, and the last 10 of these have been at WRAP. And people often ask me, what is the one thing we can do to make a change? What do we really need to focus on to build circular businesses? And my response to that is that there isn't just one thing. It's a combination of well-designed, well-evidenced, and well-resourced activities that will drive lasting change. And at the heart of this is collaboration and measurement. The way WRAP works illustrates this. So WRAP is an evidence-based organization. We use a systems-based approach to the way we work, and we deliver our work using 4 levers for change. The first of these is policy and technical support. So we have a team of researchers and economists who provide expert research, modeling, advice, and services to help organizations, national governments, and local authorities to develop and implement waste prevention and recycling policies. We also use business voluntary agreements, and these are effectively collaborative change programs designed, developed, and managed by WRAP to help businesses improve product design, minimize waste, and encourage their customers to also prevent waste and recycle more. We use financial instruments such as grants, loans, and investments to develop capacity to overcome specific market failures. And we research, design, deliver, and evaluate consumer behavior change campaigns to help citizens prevent waste and recycle more. Our work on food waste prevention illustrates how we use these levers in practice. So why do we focus on food waste prevention? Well, WRAP's evidence shows us that if food waste were a country, it would be the 3rd biggest emitter of carbon emissions around the world. And WRAP's Food Waste Strategy Target Measure Act was launched during September 28. The strategy sets a goal that aligns with the UN Sustainable Development Goal Target 12.3 to have food loss and waste by 2030. Our food waste reduction roadmap is a key policy instrument for reducing food waste. The roadmap advocates a target measure act approach because understanding how much waste you make and the cost of that waste is the first step to making change. And without measuring, we also can't report progress. Our Quartal 2025 voluntary agreement includes members from the food and drink businesses representing 95% of the UK food retail market. And all of these members have signed up collectively to prevent food waste and have agreed to working towards collective targets. They have individual action plans, and they report progress using a standard methodology. So we have a critical mass of collaborative action towards a shared goal, and WRAP provides the knowledge, expertise, and support to deliver on these targets. And these efforts are underpinned by grant aid and consumer behavior change campaigns. And we use these same levers of change for our work on textiles, plastics, and resource management. The impact of this approach is proven. Quartal has been running since 2005. Our most recent progress reporting shows that Quartal has reduced food waste in the UK by 1.7 million tonnes from 2007. This is a 27% per capita reduction, and it equates to £4.7 billion less in food wasted. And we use this approach, as I said, across all of our other focus areas. So again, you can see WRAP's evidence and levers of change applied to our work on increasing textile sustainability. In the UK and across Europe, clothing is ranked 4th in terms of its impact on the environment. Only housing, transport, and food have greater impacts. The Sustainable Clothing Action Plan is our voluntary agreement with the UK supply chain, brands, retailers, governments, charities, and local authority partners. The focus of SCAP has been on reducing the impact of the clothing supply chain in the UK, increasing the lifetime of clothing, and reducing waste to landfill. And this model, this SCAP model, has been adopted across Europe through the European Clothing Action Plan, and is also emulated in countries such as Canada. WRAP is currently working with the sector to deliver our next iteration of SCAP, Textiles 2030, and a roadmap of change for the UK's textile sector. In terms of financial instruments, we're working with DEFRA to deliver the Resource Action Fund and grants specifically targeted at increasing the sustainability of clothing. And we also have our consumer campaign that we deliver in partnership with SCAP members, Love Your Clothes. UK Plastics Pact was launched in 2018 on the wave of Blue Planet. WRAP works with the Ellen MacArthur Foundation around the globe to deliver plastics packs, and we lead delivery of the UK Plastic Pact. Members of the UK Plastics Pact represent over 80% of the plastics packaging placed on the UK market. In terms of financial instruments, again, we're working with DEFRA to deliver the Resource Action Fund grants, but we also have 2 grant schemes that we're delivering with UK research and innovation to really support achievement of the Plastics Pact targets. And just this past March, we launched Clear on Plastic. So this is our consumer campaign to give citizens clear information about plastics and the environment. So that was an overview of how WRAP works with some of our UK-wide programs. In Wales, where I work, the Welsh Government have recently consulted on a new circular economy strategy for Wales entitled Beyond Recycling. Beyond Recycling reaffirms goals for Wales to become zero waste by 2050, to reduce emissions and to normalize resource efficiency. The consultation document set out new ambitions to go beyond the focus on recycling and move towards a more circular economy in Wales by making it a country where we avoid waste and keep resources in use as long as possible, where we encourage reuse, repair, and remanufacture of products and materials, and to leverage public procurement as a demand driver. And finally, to create the conditions for businesses to seize the opportunity of the circular economy. In Wales, I lead a team of colleagues that deliver Welsh Government-funded support to organizations in order to achieve those ambitions set out in Wales' circular economy strategy. The aim of our work is to drive both the supply and demand of recycled materials in Wales by delivering market development, to drive demand for recycled materials in products manufactured in Wales. We deliver sustainable public procurement support and the Circular Economy Fund. It's worth noting that in Wales, we produce more plastic packaging than we use. And on average, the recycled content of this plastics packaging is already over 50%. So our work with manufacturers to use recycled materials in products is not focused on plastics packaging because we're already really good at this. But it's focused on overcoming the challenges of using recycled materials in non-packaging plastics and producing these at a commercial scale. We're delivering a number of supply chain projects to evidence both business and environmental case for using post-consumer recycled materials in products for the construction industry, hazardous waste containers, housewares, and medical products. And what we realize is that using recycled content involves working across the supply chain to test, compound, and find materials, and it can take months to develop a suitable product. It's not simply a matter of replacing a virgin material for a recycled one. It takes time and it requires collaboration. So we're running 4 trials with over 20 partners, where we're creating value and we're delivering change and impact. Our research on plastics in Wales shows us that there are great opportunities to shorten supply chains and potential to help SMEs to increase their buying power through cluster purchasing. So along with our technical support, we've developed an interactive map of plastic flows, which details the supply chain to help with our planning and policy support and encourage supply chain collaboration. In Wales, we're also delivering the £6.5 million Circular Economy Fund on behalf of the Welsh Government. This runs until March 2022, and the fund is aimed at driving demand for secondary materials by offering capital grants to manufacturers using recycled content or those that are remanufacturing or refurbishing products. Demand for this grant has been very high, and so we can see that there is a shift happening in the sector. To create pull-through for sustainable products in Wales, we work with the public sector to embed green public procurement. We aim to make the procurement of reused goods and remanufactured goods and products containing recycled content the new normal. What we found is that procurement staff are often time poor and they don't have the information they need to make the right decisions. There's a long tail of people buying and specifying products that aren't procurement professionals. And often when they call on procurement team members, important decisions are already made. So we need to change behaviors, we need to change cultures, but we need to start at the top down. So what we do in Wales is we provide end-to-end procurement support, but it's focused on RAP's levers of change, really working to change policy, to provide technical support. We provide tools and guidance, and we also provide support for measuring and monitoring. We also deliver the ERDF-funded Wales Ireland programme Catalyst project. This project is coming to a close at the end of this year. Catalyst uses sustainable development to drive innovation within Welsh and Irish SMEs in the life sciences and food and drink sectors. And we're working in partnership with University of Wales, Trinity St. David, Carlow and Tipperary County Councils, and the Institute of Technology in Carlow to deliver this project. Now, I couldn't give this presentation without discussing RAP's collaborative change program. In Wales, there are statutory recycling targets for local authorities, and the collaborative change program provides a comprehensive range of support for local authorities to help them meet these targets and to implement the collections blueprint, which is the Welsh Government's policy and guidance for the separate collections of material streams and restricted collections of residual waste. This support includes collections modeling, strategy development, operational support, materials marketing, and service chain support. And through our service chain support, we've seen recycling rates increase by as much as 14% with the local authorities that we've worked with. In part due to CCP and Welsh Government policy, Wales is the third best recycling country in the world. So what do we need to build circular businesses? Well, RAP's Build Back Better strategy was published in July, and it demonstrates that moving towards a circular economy should form an essential element of recovery from COVID-19, delivering growth, jobs, resilience, and sustainability. We've made 6 recommendations for any Build Back Better strategy, which will accelerate the UK's transition to a circular economy and maximize the contribution of circular activities to a sustainable and resilient economic recovery. These recommendations include that the UK accelerates its transition to a circular economy by focusing on remanufacturing, repair, and activities that generate new net jobs to tackle unemployment. That governments, regions, cities, and businesses adopt a Target Measure Act approach to increase circularity. That government accelerate the implementation of relevant policy measures and shares this progress to increase business confidence. We recommend that we leverage government aid to businesses with a large material footprint by making it contingent on those businesses adopting a Target Measure Act approach to increase the circularity of their operations. We recommend that the UK drive a much more widespread adoption of circular business models through the introduction of targeted policy, financial and business support, citizen engagement measures, and the collection of better data. And that the UK government and banking sectors incentivize circular businesses when designing and providing future financial support. So thank you very much for listening to my presentation on how RAP works and what we need to do to promote circular businesses. I've included my email address, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.